Hello, this is Indigo Owl coming to you live from my garden in London. It has been such a long time since I did a live guidance for you here on Facebook, and I have been resting. I haven't forgotten about you, but I have been listening to my body, and I have been listening to my needs and my family's needs, and also my business needs. This is not the only work I pursue, and I have had to take a long break, much longer than expected. However, I'm back, and I will flip the camera in a minute so you can see the cards rather than me talking. I just wanted to say hello. I'm so happy you're here with me. I have been changing again and again and again, but overall the energy seems to be making things better for us. So if at any point you're not feeling very happy, try and hang in there. Things are getting better. So let's see if we can do some cards. Here we go. So first of all, we're going to draw some. I'm really all into the fairies today, and the fairies asked me to sit in the garden in the beautiful sunshine. We have the fairy tarot deck to start with, and I also have the fairy oracle deck to go with it today. This will be the other deck we're using. Here we go. All about the fairies today. So I'm going to shuffle these beautiful cards. This is the first time I have filmed the guidance like this, so hopefully you should be able to see quite well. And I'm sending a silent prayer that my internet connection will work in the garden as well. So far so good. So let's have a really good shuffle here, and then we're going to draw one card for each weekday. If at any point we do lose the internet, I will have to relocate inside, and there might be a few minute gap, and then I'll be back. I will definitely finish this week's guidance. So let's see. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, another one wanted to come there as well, but I think 7 cards from the tarot deck will be plenty for today. So let's see what we've got. Can't believe it's already Sunday. I literally feel like last week is only just starting tomorrow, and the whole week's already gone. So this is going to be for Monday the 15th of June, and we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is one of the major arcana in tarot, and it is a card that comes at times where it's really, really important to trust our own intuition above anybody else's advice, maybe even above our own logical advice, but to really listen to the heart and to really listen to spirit. As it says on this card here, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, and a commitment to your spiritual growth. So that's the energy for Monday. This is very much an energy of going inside, an energy of maybe seeking out a bit of quiet and solitude. It might be a good day to meditate. But also, if you're not someone who likes to sit and meditate, doing things a bit more slowly in a meditative way. I find housework really lends itself to that, as well as things like gardening, or you can take a meditative walk. Let's have a look at Tuesday. And we have another 9. 2 9s in a row. We have 9 of winter, which in a more traditional tarot deck would be the 9 of swords. And it often shows a woman who can't sleep at night. And here we can see a fairy who's having a bout of insomnia, and she's looking up at the moon, looking for solace. It often also shows a woman who has her hands over her face and her head kind of bowed forward, and she's literally too scared to look. And really the message of this card is often, when you take a look around yourself, you will find things are not as bad as they seem. So it does seem like the beginning to the week may be a little bit challenging, maybe things not working out exactly the way we had hoped, or just the fear that things are not working out the way we had hoped. If they aren't, trust that something even better is waiting for you. It also says on this card, unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios and allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Well, that's pretty much what I described. So let's see how the week carries on with Wednesday. Oh, here we got a much lighter energy to discard. We have Prince of Spring, which could also be the Page of Wands in a more traditional deck. So the pages or the princes or princesses in tarot come for situations where there is brand new energy coming in. It can be the first stirrings of new things. In this beautiful deck you can see a fairy riding a rabbit. Don't try this in real life, I feel like saying. Don't try this at home. If you see a rabbit, just allow it to hop away in its own time. So on this card here it says immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, or a passionate relationship. So the Prince of Spring brings this kind of new energy in the area of spring, which is also the wands, which relates to your career as a whole, but also your spiritual journey through life. And it's interesting, we're starting with the card that's about connecting with spirit more deeply and also progressing your spiritual journey. And here again we have a mention, we have the wands which symbolize your spiritual journey in life. So there is something challenging that's being triggered at the beginning of the week, that actually if we can step out of that 9 of winter mode where we focus onto the negative, or we over exaggerate what's happening that's not going in the right direction, if we can shift out of that, because the number 9 is only one away from the 10, which is the successful completion in tarot. So actually there is a new energy coming in, there's a new beginning coming. So this is just about shifting out of this energy, and I feel like it may be an energy that for some of you has come up again and again and again and again for maybe months or years. And actually, when you look back over that time frame, you might see that all that time, even though you've had some setbacks along the way, you have actually got closer and closer and closer to where you want to be. So it may be worth remembering that, because this might be the last throes of that kind of old energy and that old way of looking at things that we need to shift, so that this new energy that will come in anyway, but we will make so much better use of it when it comes on Wednesday, because there's something good and new coming in. There's something new starting. Let's have a look at Thursday. Oh wow, Thursday we have the Lovers. Amazing. So here's the second major arcana. We had the Hermit and now we have the Lovers. Now the Lovers in tarot can come for a very, very special relationship, a very special union between two people. It can also be a card that relates to business or work, or your career, if that is something that is very meaningful to you, if your career is important to you, other than that it provides you with money and practical things in life, but actually if you are in a career or pursuing a career that is very special to you, then it can also come for that. The Lovers can also come for a time where we have to make a decision between two options that are both tempting in their own way. So if it is a relationship, it very much says on here that this would be a true love relationship that is long lasting, and it is important to make choices from the heart, and you may also at this point be returning to good health. If it is to do with career, I do feel like for some of you it might be signifying a fork in the road where you have to choose maybe sticking with what you're doing or trying something new, or you're on a path. Let's say you're self-employed and you get offered part-time work that will take some time and energy away from your self-employment, and but would provide you with some guaranteed income in the meantime. So there may be an interesting choice you might have to make, but I feel like either choice will be okay. Maybe one will be better than the other, but if you let your heart guide you, it will be easy to see which one that is. But I don't feel that either choice is wrong. Let's have a look at Friday. We have another spring card. We have Prince of Spring, and now we have Princess of Spring. And how interesting, they have come around the Lovers card. Very interesting. So I do feel that for some of you, this Lovers card has come to do for a love relationship, which the Lovers very much often represents, because we now have the Prince and the Princess, even of the same suit or of the same season as it is in this tarot deck, coming on either side of this card to reinforce this true love message. And the Princess of Spring also says it's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizon, and let your creativity take flight. So, for those of you where this does represent a love relationship, the advice and guidance that's coming with it is that by going after your dreams in a general way, not just in the area of relationships, but generally in life, will actually help you open up to this relationship either coming in or going to the next level, if that's where you want to go with it. And also being creative will be will come easily to you on Friday, and apply this to whatever area in life suits you. That may well be in your career, but it may also just be in your home, or in the way you have a relationship with yourself, or the way you relate to others, or maybe the meal you're going to cook, or maybe you are in a creative career and it's a good day to begin a new project or finish off an old project, or take a whole different stance to a project you are already working on, and use your creativity to have a whole new approach. Now I'm going to push some of these cards up so we can make room for the 2 cards for the weekend. And I'm sure you know how curious I am by now how this week will end, because even though it seems to have this little bit of a challenging and heavy start, there's all this exciting energy coming in. Let's see what we've got for Saturday. And we have Awakening. That's beautiful progression, because, oops, make sure these cards don't fly off in the wind of change. Awakening, or, oh, my battery's low. Okay, well, let's hope we can finish this off before my phone dies. Apologies if I have to go. That's one thing I didn't consider before I started. Awakening in tarot, or sometimes called the Hanged Man, is very much to do with finally finding a different mental attitude to what has been happening. It's literally seeing things, it can be like your whole view of everything has completely flipped. You might see things completely upside down. It says here, change the way you're looking at the situation, embrace your uniqueness and the temporary pause in the action. So we may be needing to be willing to slow down on Saturday in order for this to happen, but there is a possibility. It started off with this Hermit on Monday, which is all about going deeper inside and getting this spiritual guidance, will eventually lead us to this shift in attitude and this spiritual awakening. Let's have a look at Sunday. And we have the Chariot, and now we have movement. That is beautiful. The Chariot is a card of victory, a card of us learning how to drive this chariot in a much more successful way than maybe we have been able to in the past. It says here, success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. I do feel like for some of you this really may mean a new job offer of something you really wanted, or a project going really well, or somebody really being forthcoming with acknowledgement of how valuable you have been, and also being able to acknowledge yourself and celebrate all by yourself your achievements. And I think this awakening is what will allow us to truly see how much we have achieved so far, and then really move forward. A chariot has a lot of energy. So an amazing week so far. Let's just quickly, before my battery dies completely, draw a fairy oracle card to see what guidance we get with this beautiful week that's coming up. And we have, wow, perfect. We have positive expectations. Well, that if I'd have asked you to guess what could be a guiding principle for this whole week, especially with the way it starts and the way that it carries on and then ends, I think positive expectations is spot on. This coming week, it's really, really important to keep expecting all the positive outcomes that you've been hoping for. And I almost feel like saying, ignore the little negative things that may also come along the way. No day carries on from morning till night where everything is always just positive, but really, really look for the positive, focus on the positive, and keep expecting the positive. And if you feel yourself slipping out of that, don't beat yourself up, simply stop and tune back into the positive expectations. I'm going to say goodbye, just in case my phone gives out in a minute. I have been so happy to reconnect with you. I really hope you have all been well and continue to be well. Please take good care of yourselves, and I will endeavor to continue my weekly guidance again. So hopefully see you again next week. I'm sending you many, many blessings, and I will say namaste and goodbye.